Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Retail Tales. Here on this show, we exclusively discuss all things AI across the retail value chain. I'm Saurabh, and I'm your host for this podcast. First of all, a very happy new year to all of you. Are you all ready for 2025? I'm ready for 2025. I have no doubt in my mind that this year, 2025, is going to be a game-changing year at the intersection of retail and AI. The advancements in AI and its adoption within retail, both at consumer and enterprise levels, are only going to accelerate where and how retail organizations are using AI capabilities. In fact, I'll do a separate episode focused on reviewing my own AI predictions in retail for 2024, and then I'll share my top 5 predictions for 2025 in retail AI. So there's more to come on that in future. But coming back to this episode though, while this episode is the first one of 2025, this is also the second and the final installment of the two-part episode series on how a chief technology officer or a CTO could play the role of a strategic catalyst for a retail organization and harness the power of AI to enhance efficiency, foster innovation, and ultimately drive shareholder value. Before we get on with this second part though, let me quickly recap the first part for you all. In the first part, I covered the first 5 of the 10 principles that a CTO or a technology leader or a technology executive should consider for creating value. Orchestrating technology and data, scaling solutions, and even managing risks for AI applications. So principle number 1 was taking a programmatic approach to building AI and generative AI fluency, both personally and for the enterprise. Principle number 2 was building an AI strategy that's aligned with enterprise business goals. Number 3 was close collaboration with other C-suite executives of an organization. Number 4 was, it was about establishing an optimal operating model and a core team to drive AI and generative AI transformation ambitions for your organization. And finally, number 5 was an ongoing evaluation and mitigation of AI and generative AI risks within your organization. So those were the first 5. If you haven't yet listened to the first episode, please go check that out. I'll also add a link to it in the description of this episode as well, to make it a little easier. That said, now that you're all caught up with the summary of the first 5 principles, let's move on to the final 5. One more thing before we do that. Just as I said in the part 1 as well, I know these 10 principles are likely going to seem like, they're focused on CTOs and CTOs only, but make no mistake, each and every bit of these 10 principles, the 5 that I spoke about in the previous episode and the 5 that I'm going to be speaking about today, each and every bit of these 10 principles is relevant and crucial for other senior technology executives as well. So if you're reporting to a CTO or, simply aspire to be in their shoes one day, you might want to listen up. All right. So with that, let's get going. The 6th principle in my book is about reimagining the technology function itself with AI and generative AI capabilities. I mean, leading by example and kicking off the transformation journey within the technology function itself by deploying AI and generative AI capabilities. It would not only set the tone for the rest of the organization, but also help demonstrate the much sought after tangible benefits of AI-driven transformation. By starting within the technology function, by starting at quote-unquote home, CTOs can showcase quick wins. They can build credibility and confidence and obviously establish some best practices that other business units, other executive leaders can emulate. For the IT function, though, this could involve leveraging AI capabilities to automate routine IT operations. It could involve enhancing DevOps efficiency through predictive analytics, or maybe even using AI-driven cybersecurity tools to strengthen, threat detection and response. These types of initiatives not only improve the tech team's efficiency and effectiveness, but also act as a proof of concept for larger enterprise-wide AI initiatives. When the technology function operates as a model cell for AI adoption within an organization, it inspires confidence across the organization. CTOs can then use this momentum to champion the broader AI transformation journey of the company, which, by the way, is going to do wonders in terms of fostering a culture of innovation and continuous improvement, cascading throughout the company, throughout the organization. This reminds me of an incident that happened a couple of months ago. I was talking to a CTO of a Midwest US based retailer, and I learned about how he kicked off his AI transformation journey by automating incident management within his IT operations. He implemented an AI driven system that monitored infrastructure real time, identified potential issues before they escalated, and even suggested remediation steps automatically. The results, astonishing to say the least. A 73% reduction in downtime, 3x faster resolution times, and 48% improvement in employee productivity across the ID teams. He said he was able to do more with less. But you know what? He said it was actually quite counterintuitive. He kicked off these AI initiatives in order to better manage his limited fiscal budget, better manage his limited resources. But by showing these improvements, his budgets were increased. Well, increased to deliver similar results across other parts of the company, but increased nonetheless. By showing the impact during leadership meetings, he not only built credibility for AI, but also inspired other business units like, supply chain, logistics, and customer service to explore and implement AI driven solutions tailored to their needs. Honestly, I think his efforts were kind of a testament, and they reinforced an important lesson. Starting small with high impact use cases within the technology function can pave the way for broader adoption within an organization. By delivering measurable outcomes early on, CTOs can create a ripple effect, making AI transformation a shared organizational goal rather than just another tech initiative. All right, on to the next one on my list then. And this one is about improving the data maturity of your company and working on it as a foundational capability, really. Look, retailers often get data from various sources, POS systems, e-commerce platforms, supply chain operations, customer feedback, customer reviews, product reviews, social media, yada, yada, yada. This creates a massive reservoir of data. But without proper management and governance, it often becomes more of a liability than an asset. Improving the data maturity is about transforming this raw, unstructured data into actionable insights that fuel AI driven decision making. For CTOs, the first step should be to establish robust data governance frameworks to ensure quality, consistency, and accessibility of data across the organization. It includes standardizing data formats, it includes eliminating silos, and most importantly, it includes implementing tools that allow for seamless integration of data from different systems. Another critical aspect is is investing in data infrastructure and analytics capabilities. This could mean adopting cloud-based data lakes or deploying real-time analytics platforms or even leveraging AI to clean and organize data more efficiently. These foundational improvements, enable advanced AI models to operate much more effectively, which then drives better outcomes through use cases like inventory management or personalized marketing or demand forecasting. Quite recently, I worked with a retailer to cleanse their product and item catalog data by using AI and generative AI capabilities. You know, it was more like using advanced capabilities to build foundational capabilities for the retailer, if you know what I mean. Anyway, and then finally on this principle of improving data maturity for your company, it's absolutely critical for CTOs to collaborate with the chief data officer, CDOs or equivalent roles within your companies to better align priorities and ensure that data strategies support AI initiatives. What I've seen throughout my career is that a mature data ecosystem not only powers AI, but also enhances organizational agility. It really makes the retail business more competitive, more agile. And that's even more crucial in today's data driven market. Okay, so the next principle on my list for CTOs is to prioritize use cases for the rest of the organization that build measurable and enterprise value through improved productivity, growth, and new business models, and drive close collaboration with business units or departments to track and realize the promised value. Measurable and enterprise being the most critical keywords in this principle, though. CTOs should not get sidetracked by use cases that deliver, feel good, sound good, individual level productivity improvements. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying those are worthless. What I am saying is just delivering the feel good and sound good individual productivity improvements is not going to drive measurable and enterprise value. They're not going to create any considerable impact on the bottom or the top line of a retail organization. Look, every retail organization out there has a limited budget, limited set of resources, and limited time. So, why would you, as a CTO, invest in something that delivers marginal gains when you can focus on initiatives that drive transformative value at an enterprise level? CTOs must resist the temptation to prioritize, quote unquote, shiny projects that sound impressive but have limited impacts on the organization's bottom line or strategic goals. Instead, they should focus on use cases that deliver measurable outcomes like revenue growth, cost savings, customer satisfaction improvements, or operational efficiency, but at an enterprise level. When I speak to my clients on this, I always advise them to focus on one or more of the three plays or three themes to prioritize their use cases. These themes are aligned with growth, profitability, and experience. That drives a clear alignment between the organization's strategic objectives and its AI investments. By categorizing initiatives or use cases under these three plays or themes, CTOs can ensure that resources are allocated to projects that offer the most significant and measurable impact at an enterprise level. Growth focused plays prioritize revenue expansion through personalized marketing or innovative product offerings. Profitability plays emphasize cost savings and operational efficiency, like AI driven supply chain optimization or route planning or load balancing in logistics. experience plays enhance customer and employee satisfaction, which help with fostering loyalty and brand differentiation, and it helps with creating a more impactful brand identity in the market. This simple framework not only helps streamline decision making, but also creates a balanced portfolio of AI initiatives, which help with delivering both immediate results and long term transformation goals. It ensures that every dollar spent contributes meaningfully to the organization's overall success. Leaving no room for initiatives that merely sound impressive but fail to deliver real value. Okay, so moving on to number 9 now. And this one is about upgrading your enterprise technology architecture to be able to support AI and generative AI at scale. And here, at scale is the phrase to be underscored. I've seen many retail organizations struggle with outdated or fragmented tech stacks that limit their ability to deploy AI effectively at scale. And I kid you not, there are some retailers out there which are even operating on spreadsheets. Yes, in the age of cloud computing, real-time analytics, and AI-driven decision-making, their data analysis and decision-making happens on spreadsheets. As a CTO, though, ensuring that your enterprise technology architecture is modern, scalable, and optimized for AI workloads is a critical enabler for success. This starts with adopting cloud-based infrastructure that can handle the compute-intensive requirements of AI models, to provide flexibility to scale up or down based on what the demand looks like. And once that's in place, the next step should be to focus on building data-centric architecture that enables seamless integration. It enables real-time processing and to enable accessibility of high-quality data across the organization. Investing in AI-ready platforms, whether it's MLOps tools or containerized environments, can further streamline the development, deployment, and management of AI applications. And don't forget about cybersecurity. As AI adoption within an organization grows, so do the risks associated with the sensitive data and AI-driven systems, which makes robust security measures non-negotiable. Look, upgrading your enterprise architecture isn't just about supporting AI projects today. It's about future-proofing your organization to handle the ever-increasing demands of AI and generative AI as they become more embedded in every step of the retail value chain. Well, another facet of this principle is focused on vendor and capability consolidation. Whether your companies have grown organically or inorganically, retail CTOs must focus on consolidating vendors and consolidating underlying tech capabilities. Having several BI vendors or data platform capabilities, having multiple overlapping tools for analytics, or maintaining redundant systems for similar functions. All these things create inefficiencies. They increase costs and add unnecessary complexity to your technology ecosystem. This kind of fragmentation not only makes it harder to deploy AI and generative AI solutions at scale, but it also hinders collaboration and data integration across the organization. So for retail CTOs, vendor and capability consolidation must be one of the priorities. It's about streamlining the tech stack to ensure alignment with strategic goals of your organization while reducing operational overhead. Consolidating platforms, like moving to a single enterprise data platform or standardizing on one BI solution, it can simplify the workloads and make data much more accessible for AI applications. It also enhances vendor relationships, by the way, which could end up giving you more leverage to negotiate better contracts and ensure deeper technical support from fewer but more strategic partners. And if you really think about it, reducing the number of tools and platforms also simplifies training and upskilling requirements, for your employees, which then helps with faster adoption of AI and generative AI initiatives. Look, ultimately, it's about creating a more unified, more cost efficient, and more scalable technology foundation. A foundation that empowers your company to innovate and execute AI driven transformations seamlessly. Okay, so then the last principle, but certainly not the least on my list, is ensuring AI ethics and compliance across all, and I emphasize all, AI and generative AI initiatives. It really starts with embedding a culture of responsible AI use throughout the organization. For retail CTOs, this means prioritizing transparency, prioritizing fairness and accountability in every AI and generative AI use case or initiative. It's really not enough to focus on the technical and business outcomes of AI projects only. CTOs must also consider the ethical and societal implications. So, a good rule of thumb is to start by establishing clear AI ethics guidelines that outline the overall kind of anchor points or principles your organizations will follow. Some of the non negotiable ones should be avoiding bias in AI models, ensuring data privacy, and maintaining transparency in AI driven decision making. These guidelines should align with both regulatory requirements and your company's core values. Another thing that I suggest to retail leaders that I speak with is about establishing robust governance to oversee AI projects at enterprise level. Must include regular audits and risk assessments to identify and address potential ethical issues. Must drive close collaboration among legal, compliance, and data governance teams to ensure adherence to evolving regulations and industry standards. Employee level AI education is also critical, by the way. CTOs should work with CHROs, for instance, to create training programs that help employees understand the ethical risks associated with AI and how to mitigate them, whether it's with respect to using enterprise AI applications or the ones that are available freely over the internet. And while you're at it, equip your employees with the tools and processes to identify and escalate concerns when necessary. And finally, on this principle, CTOs must make accountability a cornerstone of their company's AI strategy. They must assign clear ownership for monitoring and addressing ethical concerns. They must establish mechanisms for reporting and resolving issues transparently. Because by doing so, CTOs not only protect their organizations from the risks of reputational and legal damage, but also build trust with customers, employees, and stakeholders. Ethics and compliance aren't just boxes to be checked. They're foundational. They must be foundational to ensuring the long term success and sustainability of all of your AI initiatives. And that, my friends, make my list of 10 principles for a retail CTO on their AI and generative AI journey. Let me know if I'm missing anything. I'd love to learn more about anything that you or your organization is working on beyond the principles that I covered on my list. But as far as my experience is concerned, these 10 principles help build a comprehensive roadmap for CTOs who are aiming to harness the transformative potential of AI in retail. Because one thing is a given: AI is here to stay. So, not taking 2 steps forward is already taking 4 backwards. Retail may not be the fastest evolving industry with AI and generative AI, but it is evolving fast. So don't get left behind because the road to catch up is going to be steep, costly, and incredibly challenging. On that note, it's a wrap on this episode. Thanks for listening. Here's me, Saurabh, signing off. If you like the content, don't forget to follow this show to keep learning a thing or two about retail AI. You can follow us on LinkedIn and subscribe to this show on Spotify or Apple. Join me in the next episode of the Retail Tales, a show which is exclusively focused on exploring all things AI across the retail value chain. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay curious.